in terms of content and in terms of technology. And so when we talk about Bible Museum, a lot of people will think that it has to do with Bibles, with dust and all that. No. You've got to see it. If you've ever been to the Museum of the Bible, it is mind-blowing. You go and you see thousands of people just going to see what is in there. You need to see it before you can explain it. And we want to leave you in the dark until the 6th of March, when we are completing 2024, when it is completed. Then you really come to terms with what we are talking about. That's notwithstanding, we are building what we call the biblical gardens. Biblical gardens, where you've heard of the sycamore tree.
Yes.
You've never seen it. You've heard of the olive tree. You've never seen it. And a lot of things in the Bible. We are building a garden here that is called the biblical garden, where every fruit and vegetable in the Bible will be planted here. And we are also going to build. We are in contact with the Jewish embassy. We are breaking a part of the Wailing Wall in Israel, and we are incorporating it into ours. And we are building a Wailing Wall within the garden. And then we are going to have a replica of the tomb of Jesus in the garden. And so, putting all these three things together, there is nowhere in the world that any country or any individual has been able to bring together this combo. And Ghana is going to be the first in the whole wide world
to do that. But from all that you've said, do we have the land space to accommodate all that you've said?
We have more than 15 acres. The Biblical Museum in Washington is sitting on less than half an acre. We have 15 acres. It stretches right from here, right down there. It is 15 solid acres. So whatever we are doing, we have adequate space, not just for the project, but for the number of people that will troop in here. Because this project will, wherever there is a cathedral, there are tourists always readily available. I remember I went to Cote d'Ivoire, and I'd never been to Yamoussoukro, where their president built the basilica for them. When I went there, the basilica was closed. They were renovating it. But remember, that was not a national basilica. It was a basilica for the Catholics. And yet, I went there, it was being renovated, and I met more than 5,000 people looking at a cathedral which is just being renovated. And so we are changing the dynamics of our tourism industry. This is not just a cathedral. This is a movement that is going to change the dynamics of our tourism industry.
Why this particular location? Was it due to proximity, or that was what we could get at the time?
You see, the interesting thing about this location is that there is nowhere in the whole of the world where just a cathedral is built in isolation. I heard a lot of people say, why don't you go and build it in Kasua or build it in Godowa?
Or even in another region?
Yes. Now, because we want it to be an income generational monument, you cannot take it outskirts. Because if you do the pros and cons, and if you do the investment recovery analysis, you realize that the only place that can make it a viable tourist site is when you locate it in the center of the city. Other than that, you could build a cathedral, but it will become a white elephant. Let's say a president dies, like His Excellency J.J. Rawlings died. Look at where he was laid in state if it had rained. Because there is no place. International Conference Center takes only 1,400 people. So this particular cathedral is for state events, state funerals, Christian event, and you bear record with me that Christians are well over 70%. The recent census tell us. And so Christians in terms of constituency is the biggest in the whole of this nation. And so Christians cannot have something that we have ownership of in the outskirts. else we cannot generate the kind of income we want to generate. That's notwithstanding. You want to put God in the middle of your affairs. Because when England was building their cathedral, they built it in Kensington. When that was about 200 years ago, which that they incorporated it in their infrastructural and in their economic development. When the US was building the cathedrals, to build it there, which of course makes it so attractive. Not sure in Paris, when they were building it, they didn't build it in outskirts of Paris. They built it in the middle of the town, and that is why Notre Dame alone, 1.3 million people visit 0.3 million, and that is why when it got bent, within a matter of a month, they were able to raise 1.3 billion to rebuild it.
Yeah, I think we've promoted tourism and also income generating. We have the Cape Coast Castle, but still people travel to that part of the country to go and visit that tourist attraction. So if we can send it to other parts of the country, I'm sure looking at the economic benefits and the tourism aspect of it, people will still travel to those places and then patronize it.
Thank you very much, Gifty, but I told you that the tourism is just the side attraction. But you can imagine, if a president dies, and you have to put him in a haze or in a helicopter to go and bury him in Cape Coast. It's not practical. You want to put it where, not just for the death of government, for the swearing in of president, for Christian gatherings, for national events. Let's say the nation is having an event. You can't travel all the way to Cape Coast. And secondly, if you take it to Cape Coast, and let's say GBC want to do something to do with Christianity, a big event, and nobody will travel to Cape Coast to patronize it.
But obviously here there's a lot of traffic.
Oh, we incorporated it in. It's quite unfair because there's a lot of traffic. And in Kaokubi, all of us know that our brothers, the Muslims, also built where there was traffic, but there was no problem with it. And so we are also building here. I don't think traffic should tell us that it is not right to build it here. There is always a way around it, and we consider traffic aspect of it.
Benefit or the advantages we stand to generate from this national monument?
A lot. As you can see, I think we have about 500 people working now. In the next 4 weeks, we are going to be having about 1,500 people working here in the next 4 weeks, just after the holidays. And 95 to 97% of all the workers here are going to be Ghanaians. So number one. Number two, it adds up to the value of the nation. Like I said, the cathedral standing in itself is a tourist attraction site in itself. And so adding the three types of models that we're talking about, the museum and the gardens, not just the garden.
The Bible.
You go to the Bible gardens and you see everything there, you want to eat it. There is also a biblical restaurant there to be able to cook what you want to eat. Wow. And you saw in the Bible or you saw on the ground. And so the level of traffic that is going to create in terms of tourism is mind-blowing. Okay. I think we are either going to double or quadruple the inflow of traffic with this particular project. Let's not forget, Morocco had nothing. Morocco started when the whole nation came together and said, let us build a mosque that will signify the presence of God. And for that mosque alone, the economy of Morocco is shaking.
Became better. So who are the contractors on site? I know the architectural work was done by David Ajay.
We are promoting what we call the local content, but that is not to say we are going to compromise on the quality. And so there is a company called Rebadi that did the Abu Dhabi Grand Mosque. When we went through due processes, a lot of people bid it, but they have a CD with Babisoti and Desimoni. So they did a JV with both. All of us know Desimoni and Babisoti, but they are doing that with Bani. And these are the contractors, the main contractors.
Okay, but these are not Ghanaian contractors. These
two Ghanaian contractors. They are Ghanaian-based contractors.
Oh, Desimoni is also a Ghanaian
yes,
company.
It's a Ghanaian
okay. That's fine. So how long is this project going to take for us to see all that you are describing?
I wish you could go to the other side to see, so I could answer fully this question.
Reverend Kusi Boateng, at what stage of the project are we now? I know behind us is the foundation.
Yes, Gifty. This is the foundation. And if this is the foundation, they are not done.
Okay.
You realize that we've agreed for the workers to go and rest because they've been working so hard.
Sure.
And we have timelines, so you'd want them to relax a bit so they're able to deliver. We've considered all that. Both the architects, who are consultants now, and the contractors, and all the other subcontractors have come together. We've drawn a timeline, and if this is the foundation, this should tell you that we are not joking. Okay. We are building something that shall be monumental. And as the president himself will said, it's not just going to be monumental, it's going to be iconic. Wow. And so, we are determined to finish this work by the 6th of March 2024, which will mark the 7th year. And because this is a Christian venture, as for Christians, we know what the number 7 stands for.
What does it stand for?
It stands for perfection.
Okay.
And so we started, the project was started on the 6th of March 2017.
Okay.
And 2024 will be the 7th year. And so we are trusting God that even as people listen to us and watch us, they'll come and help. It is true that this is a national monument, but the president didn't mince words. He said he's going to collaborate with the Christian fraternity. And so you realize that it is you and I that should do the best that we can to let this happen. And this reminds me of what happened with Mordecai and Esther. Mordecai told Esther, if you do it, thank God. But if you don't do it, the Lord will raise up a generation of people to build this thing.
So we are likely to finish within schedule.
We are right on time. Our schedules, we've not missed our schedules. We are on schedule, and we are finishing on the 25th. We are unveiling this place by the 6th of March 2024.
What happened to the vegetation here?
It's another story. It's another interesting story. If you came here like 1.5 years ago, you didn't know that this is the place you are standing. There were multiple trees, over 200 and something trees.
Okay.
And some had been here for 70 years, 80 years, 60 years.
Wow.
And so what the trustee said is, we are not going to cut these trees down. And so the question was, what are we going to do? So we had to engage our consultants, and we saw it is possible. And so we employed the services of Parks and Gardens. So we relocated every single tree that was here.
Okay.
Yeah, and we have replanted them. And interestingly, we might not have time today. If you get time any other day, we'll go there for you to see that we are not just telling stories. So all the trees here have been replanted. So when we are done with the building, and then we are doing the landscaping, the trees that are needed would then be replanted here. And then anyone that wants to have a tree that has been there for 90 years, if it doesn't fit here and we don't need it again, you could go then, possibly we'll sell it to you to make more money for the cathedral.
How possible would that be? Imagine a tree like that standing there, you uproot it, and then some months, years later, you replant it.
It's possible. They do it abroad.
Oh, with technology?
Yes, and it's the same technology we used here. We didn't miss a single tree. Yes, obviously, you might have one or two dying, but we've been able to preserve more than 95% of all the trees that we replanted. And so that proves that we are capable. We are always thinking that it can only be done outside there. We want to prove to the world that Ghana can be the first country to have an iconic cathedral, to have the biggest Bible museum in terms of space, in terms of content, in terms of technology. A lot of people don't know. Maybe Gitty, I don't know if you even know. And there is a difference between the white man, who was a businessman, who came to colonize us, and the white man who came to give us the gospel, who helped us build St. Louis, St. Monica's.
What's the difference?
The difference is the white man being a businessman who came to colonize us. But there was another Christian body. They were wise too. But they said, no, these people don't have to be enslaved. They have to be empowered. So every single good secondary school you know in Ghana here was built by the church.
That's good. So this project that we are talking about will be worth $100 billion. That's a lot of money. How much have we generated?
It's more than 100 million.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, the finance minister on the floor of parliament, was it 3 years ago? Never said 100 million. He said it will be worth more than 100 million.
Oh, okay.
And he was just talking about the cathedral. We had not as yet brought in
the addition,
the biblical, the museum, the biblical gardens. We hadn't built the idea of doing it, using it as a religious tourism. It is religious tourism that has made Saudi Arabia. It's religious, besides their oil. If you talk about the Hajj, the kind of money they get. If you talk about Dubai, it is tourism. Dubai now, tourism contributes more than 90% of their GDP. If you talk to, if you go to Morocco, tourism, and it was because of a mosque that Morocco built. So you can never underestimate the effects of religious tourism. Considering that Africa has the largest Christian population. Africa has over 650 million Christians. Let's forget about the Africans in the diaspora and even the white people that won't come here. If this is even just for the consumption of the local African market, you are talking about 650 million Africans who are Christians. But we are extending our borders. We are extending our borders to Europe. We are extending our borders to the US.
Asia.
We are expanding our borders to Asia, expanding our borders to England. And so you can imagine the effect of this particular monument on our GDP.
So now how much exactly are we going to spend on this project?
With all that is involved, the technology, the buildings, the Bible museum, and the biblical gardens and all that, is going to cost us around $350 million. Wow. But the government only gave us this land and gave us a seed money of just of the cathedral, which was about $25 million. But we are doing the best that we can. We are We are going to churches. We have models that we have planned. And one of the greatest models is for, if you're a Ghanaian watching me, it's time for Christians to also have ownership. The reason why I'm excited that the government didn't build it for us, the government could have built it. Because if you look at in terms of constituencies, the Christian fraternity as a constituency has done more for Ghana than any other constituency. So in the event that the government was even building it for us, I don't think this was any big deal. But what makes me happy is that I don't want a situation whereby tomorrow, if another president or another government comes, he tries to turn this into another thing. And so once ownership is now for believers, let us all come together and contribute so that this particular monument doesn't come under any form of political colors, but that it shall be devoid of politics. It shall stand on its own, and believers will own it. And so we have built models. One of the models is that we want just 1 million Ghanaians to give us 100 Ghana cedis a month. And you see, I think that this week alone you've spent more than 100 Ghana cedis. So if you were to spare every single week 25 cedis for a month, everyone gives you could support this project with 100 Ghana cedis.
So for how much has been contributed?
We are still, because we inaugurated the fundraising, but we are now doing the fundraising.
Okay.
So I cannot give you out.
Roughly, do we know how much?
We've had one Ghanaian giving us $1 million. This one giving us 1 million Ghana cedis. Give one. A Jewish gave us 1 million Ghana cedis recently, and people are bringing in the 100 Ghana cedis. We just want to hit the 1 million club, and when we hit it, we cut it off. We don't want to have 101. Yes. So if we can get 1 million people that are giving us 100 Ghana cedis a month, and Ghanaians, I think we are a religious nation. Over 70% are Christians, over 50% are Muslims. And all of us believe in giving and receiving. And so I think one of the best things Ghanaians can do is to invest in this particular project. I've seen a lot of people build houses. When they die, their children sold their houses. But if you invest in this, your child cannot come and break it and go and sell it. And I believe that it will be a blessing that will go beyond us and to infiltrate into posterity. And the interesting thing is that if only you contribute consistently 100 Ghana cedis a year for the next 1.5 years, your name shall be written once you are entering the cathedral. Okay. There is a desk, which is a computer. Once you type gift, your name, your full name, it will bring how much you gave to support the cathedral, and to be like on a tree. Wow. That's one segment of our model. There's another segment of our model, which is the wall of fame, where people that are helping us with 100,000 a year, 100,000 Ghana cedis a year or more. Like I said, somebody is giving us $1 million. His name will be written in gold on the wall. Yes. And there is the people in the intermediaries who think that they want to do more than 100 Ghana cedis, and yet they can't do 100,000 cedis. Their names will be written on another wall with silver. Okay. And then the churches that are also contributing. We've had SDA, who is also committed to contributing to this project. We've had the Church of Pentecost, and a lot of churches are contributing. And if you contribute consistently until the finishing of this project, the church's names, I think, will be written on the pillars of the cathedral. So this is how we expect everyone to help us and to say to ourselves, we are well able, we are capable. Ghanaians are over 70% Christians, and we can do this because there are others elsewhere who are ready to help us. Don't let us sit down for others to come and take our blessings. I believe that this is a new day for Ghana. And it is not by chance that America became America. By incorporating the cathedral in their infrastructural and the economic policies. It is not by chance that England is England. By incorporating the cathedral in their infrastructural and developmental project before they became as powerful as they are. It's not by chance that a nation like Paris, Greece, and Norway, and all these countries are who they are, because they incorporated the building of the National Cathedral in their infrastructural and their economic structures. And so I encourage every Ghanaian. And the interesting thing is that there are some who don't even know how to donate. We have a short code, star 979, star 979, hash, star 979 hash. Whatever
All networks.
All networks. If you dial it, star 979 hash. The moment you dial it and you follow the prompts, you'll be able to donate. Or you can walk into any ADB bank. They've been an amazing bank. You can go to any teller and say, I'm coming to donate for the National Cathedral. Or you can go to Fidelity Bank, any Fidelity Bank, tell them I'm coming to donate to the National Cathedral. Or go to any Ghana commercial bank and tell them you are coming to donate towards the building of the National Cathedral.
We've talked about the physical structure of the project. Let's look at the interior. What do you have for us? I mean, what should we expect?
That is where we want to put you in suspense. Because if I tell you everything, then it's like you know of everything. We are building a state of the art, and I'm not missing words. Like our conference room, the premium one, can host the Pope. Can host the Pope. Top notch. Everything here, we want to prove to the world and to Africa that we are able to do what nobody has ever done. And this particular monument and this particular vision is a vision that is going to make a statement. And I bless God for the life of His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo for bringing such a vision.
Now let's look at the challenges that you are currently facing. Aside the monetary aspect of it, that people are not donating as they are supposed to do, what other issues or problems are confronting this project?
As we talk now, I don't think there is anything. We've gone beyond that. We've gone beyond the challenges. We've won 3 Supreme Court cases. We won it all because it's a project worth investing in. And so the only challenge that we have is for gifts, for you to contribute every month, 100 Ghana cedis or more. And with all the cameramen, if you could do more than 100 Ghana cedis, I believe the Lord will bless you, and you'll be proud of yourself in the next 2.5 years.
Okay. So do we have a maintenance plan attached to the project?
If you look at where we are coming from and how I spoke to you about the people on the trusteeship, they are men with, their minds are like machinery. And their credibility and our credibility are on the line. And so we are trying to do everything to set an example that Ghana can do it well. We've started working on even the security system, the maintenance system. Every single thing is being drawn with respect to the models. And so this is not going to be another museum elsewhere that has been relegated, which is like a white elephant. And so all these things are under consideration, and we'll see to it that in the next 200 years, even when we are dead and gone, this monument will still be fresh after 100 years.
You know, a lot of people have issues donating. Let's use this platform, challenge them, encourage them to actually donate, because from all that you've said, it's going to be a plus for this country.
Thank you, Gifty. The truth of the matter is there is nothing that is good that is not contended with. One of the best things that ever happened to Ghana is the free SHS. But you remember, people took the free SHS to court, that it should not be implemented. And so we, as trustees, knew the challenges before we took it on. And so we don't expect everybody to embrace it. But somebody has to embrace it. As I've embraced it, I believe, Gifty, you have embraced it. And there are a lot of thousands of people that think that this is the best thing that ever happened to this nation. So our concentration here is not for those who don't believe it. That's okay. Like
No,
I
but
said,
you still have some Christians who don't believe it.
that's okay. That's okay.
No,
Don't
you still
forget,
need all those people on board.
we need them.
Every penny counts.
Every single penny
peso
counts. But we won't sit down until everybody agrees.
Okay.
You remember when Nehemiah wanted to build the walls of Jerusalem? Tobiah and Sanballat were all parts. But still, they ridiculed them and they wish it never come to pass. And so our concentration is the people that have embraced this vision. That this vision, number one, besides the fact that we are appreciating God, what about if what happened in Cote d'Ivoire had happened to us? What about if what is happening in Togo had happened to us? Look at Nigeria and look at our surrounding countries. Every one of them. Look at Sudan, look at Burkina Faso. But somewhere, somehow, the Lord has spared us. Is it a problem for us to say thank you with the Lord? Every single month with 100 Ghana cedis. We are a nation that believes in God and that believes nothing just happened. And so if you are watching me today, I'm talking to people that believe in this vision. And I quite remember when we first started, there were a lot of people that would meet me at the airport, would meet me outside this country, and they didn't understand the vision. But for the past 1 year, everybody that I've met, I've not met one person that has questioned this. What everybody is now saying is, when are we finishing this project? Right now, people are desperate, people are hungry, people are ready to support. And so our concentration is not on those who took us to court and still fighting us, but our concentration is on those who want to embrace this vision and understand that we are not just building another building. We are making a statement that God still rules in the affairs of this nation. And so for whoever is watching us, star 979 hash, donate. Be part of the 1 million people that wants to give us 100 Ghana cedis every single month. Or give us, if you want to give us more than 100 Ghana cedis a month, be consistent. Your name shall be written with silver on the wall. And for those of you who want to give us 100,000 Ghana cedis or more every single year, your name shall be written in gold. And that is the best thing that can ever happen to you. Gifty, if you do something for yourself, it ends on you. It is not a seed. It's evaporated. But if you do it for your neighbor, or if you do it for God, it goes beyond you into eternity. Let us remember that what we do for God is never wasted. It's become a seed, and you definitely will reap it. And our nation, I believe, has now taken a form of advancing into prosperity and advancing into being a first world country. I believe with all my heart.
Thank you, Reverend Victor Kusi Boatin, Member, Secretary, Board of Trustees, National Cathedral. Thank you so much for
Pleasure is mine.
encounter. And of course, today we brought you to the project site of the National Cathedral. My name is Gifty AJ. Keep watching GDC News. Bye for now. Thank you.
Thank you.
Boom, boom,